To be able to maintain the worlds on a regular basis and guide the races within them, Celestials created Malakim as their agents. And the 12 originally 10 different civilizations. Malakim are a magical race within a theology and are in a sense a race of monks, each of their small civilizations functioning as a monastic order devoted to whatever this civilization duty was. As given information. Anatomy. Outwardly, Malakim resemble humans with their appearance specifically resembling humans of North African or Near Orient heritage, but either extremely pale or extremely dark skin. With some having a cowl-like pattern on their skin. The skin. They are, however, much taller, standing 6 feet on average, with perfectly toned muscular physique. They are also completely hairless on their bodies, and usually bald, except for their shaviness sex. They have a special magical organ placed near their liver that works like theoretical zero-point engine. It locally alters entropy so that particles appear in it, which allows to gain energy for bodily processing. These organ features cells with high amount of theoblasts. They do not possess bodily hair and often do not have eyebrows. Uh, Malakim possess also a well advanced organ system for cooling. It features a very small duplicate heart linked with glandular tissue, which uses endothermic reactions to cool liquid flowing the temperature system, which is a system of vessels similar to veins and arteries. Beyond that, they also have special vents in their chests for further cooling of the liquid. The vessels form a web in their head, neck, and corpus, but only have one artery and vein for each limb. Logical traits. Malachimons are reinforced with long carbon nanotubes, and their cartilage is incredibly elastic. They have extremely efficient metabolism, their core body temperature being lower than Adamite, despite the faster metabolism overall. They are born with ability to better consciously manipulate bodily processes than humans, which is then honed by them. Their skin is resistant to cutting and piercing with layers of specially elegant graphene in it. They just possess theoblasts, which are organs which tap to theological power to produce sugars. To use them, a Malakim needs to be instead of deep meditation or sleeping. Logical traits. They possess the following theological gifts. S2 organ, a small organ in the chest that acts like a zero-point energy engine, essentially preventing death from starvation. Theoblasts, ability to tell future up to 1 hour. Ability to smite opponents, which is done via increasing the amplitude of light they generate to a level of gamma radiation and causing it to be reflected by their skin back out inside. Ability to destroy entities weaker than them. Ability to increase kinetic energy they deliver via unarmed punches or melee weaponry. Regeneration. Ability to manipulate the speed of time on personal body. Manipulation of distance. Ability to hear others. Ability to switch minds. Telepathy. Manipulation of energy. Manipulation of voids. Manipulation of properties of voice. Primarily of light and sound. Ability to shield themselves from kinetic attack via manipulation of their body's electrical fields. Separates. They are 12 Malakim civilizations, each a cultural separate in their own right. However, are an order of assassins, each member of a culture a killer, but also of something other than that. Pact are the three-part terrorists, one part the circus performance. Their performances, terror attacks are surgically performed to kill a least possible amount of people while being as terrifying to witness as possible. When they are not terrorists, they are traveling circus troupes, performing performances of both joy and fear. Halohem are the celestial soldiers fighting wars against threats to all seven worlds. Haastil are philosophers and demographic artists to many kingdoms of the seven worlds. Hayar are tenders of the forest, existing to repair any damage to the forest caused by agriculture. Hatsuf are heretical followers of Shamshir, the fallen celestial. They are heavily industrialized and under the orders of Shamshir led Scarlet Crusades to conquer the seven worlds. Hamore are sent to other races to impact knowledge that would be important for them to in the future. Had the Perak are the heretical followers of Azazel, the Fierce Fallen. They are spies for them and often seek to corrupt people by promising them arcana secrets. Hakesem are mages that aid other races in magical pursuits. Melek are the leaders of Malakim as whole. Harofa are healers sent to aid other races in preventing spread of epidemics. Hamelomed are the scholars, philosophers, and scientists. Genetics and reproduction. Malakim are all hermaphrodites but possess three sexes, masculine, fully herm, and feminine. Masculine Malakim are typically bald and possess no breast, no body hair. Polyhedra often have no hair but have breasts. Women have hair on their heads and breasts. Their pregnancy lasts 12 months and they give live birth. Also, they reincarnate, often in stages. Childhood lasts for 10 years, adolescence lasts for 24 years. The set solely remembers their past lives in adolescence. Telling insane habits, while as two organs and tablets can prevent starvation, it is unwise and unhealthy to not eat for Malaki. So the monasteries usually farm both protein-rich and starch-heavy plants, as well as raise animals primarily for milk, but sometimes also for meat or eggs. Dlaczego jest tego? Usually Malakim sleep once a week. They sleep lasts 100 hours, but they use the time manipulation so it lasts only 5 seconds from outside perspective. During this sleep, they dream of heavens and sometimes they receive missions that way. Behavior. Malakim do not feel emotions of anger and fear towards external objects as much as humans, but much more towards themselves. While they do feel emotions, even more potently than humans, they are supremely logical beings acting on them when the logical answer is only working in when the logical answer is impossible or impractical to achieve in due time. They feel basic desire to way lesser degree than humans, often forgetting to eat or sleep, and passing for the morality is the mission, and the consequential fulfillment of the logical way of fulfillment. Additional information, social structure. The Malakim are a race of monks that reincarnate constantly to fulfill tasks given to them by heaven. Each of the races have 144,000 available max cells divided into 12 orders, which are further divided into 12 chapters, 1,000 souls each. These souls live in monasteries, adherent to the walls, and there is a bit of hierarchy and with leadership monasteries for each order. But all monasteries have uncharged as a prior. Special characteristics. Malakim possess tall, androgynous faces with large dark eyes, prominent noses, and full lips around a short mouth. These faces are similarly always looked with somewhat sorrowful, somewhat serene expression, which leaks out even when making other expressions. This is attributed to their long lives and wisdom by non-Malakim. Average intelligence. The intellect is also significantly younger than human ones, which is helped to their long lives of contemplation and study, not to say of their reincarnations. Perception and sensory capabilities. Compared to human ones, the sensory capabilities of Malakim are extremely impressive. Their eyes are not only more sensitive to light, are able to see under a cloudy moonless night with the same clarity as humans do after full moon cloudless one, but they also see more colors. 7 types of visible light, the types of UV, 3 types of infrared, 3 types of radiation below 5, and finally 4 types of radiation above infrared. They also possess a dimming lens in their eyes, which prevent them from being blinded by the light of the day. But neither can hear things twice as high and twice as low, as well as 3 times as quiet and 4 times as loud. Civilization and culture, naming traditions. They share their names between incarnations, but add a number before their names to signify which incarnation they are. Since the incarnation can be of different sexes, their names are unisex. Common dress code, with exception of Hamabet and Hapagan, who dress in appropriate of their jobs, Malakim dress in simple robes befitting a monk, and when going to war, they will armor made of strange material that resembles of bone, wood, and stone, with no metallic element into them. This armor is, like the appearance suggests, alive and heals slowly, absorbing any one tool itself. This armor is usually of the color opposite to skin of the Malakim wearer, except for the followers of Shamshi, who wear bright saturated red armor. Who contract heritage. Malakim have immense cultural influence on northern liturgical faiths, with the most commonly used name for the civilization come from ancient Judaic language, but there are others, which is primarily Islamic civilization, which come from Arabic. Common taboos. While a person might think that a race of monks would have a lot of taboos, their rational, logical, and senile duty, as well as the constantly reincarnating, makes most taboos redundant. But there are a few. Sloth, vainglory, and wrath. Sloth is seen as unbecoming of the laborious divine soldiers, vainglory is seen as heresy even by heretical ones, and true glory is defined by the community's via vote. If enough members of a community decide an act is worthy of recognition, it becomes okay for the act performer to feel proud of the act. Everything is seen as unbecoming as sloth is, and unguided war is seen as sin of low self-control.